We're here with some musings from the grave. So, since this afternoon's surgery at the Zion Cemetery, we have had a bunch of guests tonight. So, we are now connecting Underworld here with. Now, I had opened so many portals after Amy's event for the dissension, and that's at Shelter Cove. And then they would be like, why don't you, this is over here, and they would play those douchebag songs at Poseidon, because what happened was all the atoms now are in a state of like frozen. They're all frozen because they've all had to go back to a fake 0 point. So all of them have been playing a fraud for game, like, oh, we're gonna mix up the cultures and we're gonna like welcome Americans over there. So we're gonna make the biggest welcome to Americans to welcome them in the Holy Land. So we're gonna let Heather Harvey marry Azima Tabrawi October 6th for Project Globalization. They're inventing a bunch of bullshit. Doesn't exist. They've gone mad. All they do is mock me every day. They're insane. They're lost. Now, what the real truth of the story of the matter is that the masculines have decided to take the power away from the divine feminine lineage, which we are the ones who created all and everything, and created him from my heart. And then he chose to create carbon forms due to the density of his forms when, as I mentioned, he started to fuck the daughters. Now, everybody thought that's so normal, and, I've seen all the visions. I mean, it was a grand wedding, and they landed grandly with the governments and everything, and, all of them, like donkeys, are clapping, so people think it's funny that I'm still in this state, and they think it's hilarious, because they have this hatred ingrained towards the real feminine strata, because all the femmes live to be subservient to a certain guy that thinks that he owns, protects, and according to their gospel that they play sex games with or whatnot. Now, long story short, Amy and May have gone through their sets of circumstances, because when people pass, it's not similar to each what happens next. And so for you all to know, May resurrected from the dead through my body on October 8th or 9th, meaning the night of. And that's the night whereby the little kids that think that they have a mommy and daddy on Hilton Head because they teach them false sexual teachings, because Beirut, they have a lot of perversion. I mean, we read it in the gospel. You're all, sick people. I mean, every time I left the country and came back, you guys were even sicker. And it doesn't mean, but I have no respect for you because you're all suckers. You do anything to be part of something, especially if it's the expense of someone else, and especially if you can, invent on top of it an excuse about, oh, but this happened, and, like, it's your way of being vengeful on Jerusalem. It's your way of expressing hatred towards Israel. Besides the French people, like the Lycée people that decided to do a clique and a plan, to do a plan B, but at the same time, they also don't have divine feminine codes because they play the mother programming. They don't be mother energy. They have mother programs, like they have cop program, but the guy's not a cop. His soul's not a cop. He's just wearing the mask like you all do every day. So if you all think that in your masked fallacy, when you all lie to me and go and celebrate a fraud wedding with fraud principles, and then the whole world goes down, but you're still frauds. Um, it's pretty sad. So we have devised a plan now with my October 6th, twin ray sister. I mean, I don't, you know, but it was revealed. I mean, I'm saying these things because I don't normally mention these matters. So we were just reprimanded by the Galactic Confederates, and no clue how they're gonna cancel the timelines of the fraudulent weddings. But I mean, it's still a totalitarian negation. So I don't know then. All I know is at BCGC I was laughing hysterically with an October 6th somewhere on Earth. And right about now, it's still, to me, I mean, the Mayan calendar ended a long time ago. Now she gets it. Now she got hip. But otherwise, the Therese thing that said that, oh, that was not my dream, but my father's dream for me to have my dream wedding. Ouch. So they're saying they have no clue what I'm talking about. And so then you didn't have a big grande wedding, or did you have it here? Or you probably had it with the First Contact Grand Crew team, Michael's crew. I see, besides the whatever they told me existed today from California, they have now the 5D Disclosure and the Joy Reigns. So the 5D Disclosure is actually a platform literally created by, two people whom Amy Carlson ended up really bonding with, that I get a great vibe from, I mean, from my end. And I like how at the end of her life, she was very jovial and her feminine codes had awoken to the capacity where she's always still telling the stories. Now, she was being poisoned by the patriarch cabals. That's what they do. They take our power away by food poisoning and the rest of their means, because they think that they know how to lead humanity, because they want to keep the power over for the masculines. So maybe even probably the Lucifer and fake Aurora wedding went down underground. It's the underground government, because she's denying. So, yeah, I mean, so then the Valerie in South Miami, you were not welcome, and whatever you put in that powder of yours, I don't believe it was only collagen. Same as Lynn Craft, same as, all you fraud people. I mean, you live life as a waste, and you're all shady people, and all you want is power over and control. And from the grave, I mean, we're having a bunch of fun, and they're still denying me because I think they still want to mess with me on certain levels. Maybe they want to take me to another facility so I don't find out their underground plans. You never know. So I will keep on fighting for the light, and they don't seem to want to cancel things at government levels, because the patriarchs have held down each of these atoms and have done them in a wrong way. So now everybody's a slave until further notice. And that being said, yeah, there's a lot of sorrow in the field, and a lot more galactic information that I haven't been able to portray. However, while Amy was done dead, it was having to have a contract termination, or however you want to put it, but she was 45, 5'4", 75 pounds, so like